Hey YouTube, Void friends and family, to Pren again, back with another PvP video. This one I want to try and talk to you guys about our skills. Our skills are a major part of PvP. Even PvE, but PvP is our focus for this video. So we're going to jump right into this. I like a very balanced approach. I've seen people max out in order to get these over here, and to me it's just not worth it. Unless you're going for a very specific type of build. An overall setup like this is just far better. So let's go into this. For our lieutenant, obviously, we want to max out our hull. I'm a big fan of hull. I lean away from shields. You do want some, but being that for the most part I'm in intel ships, cloaky kind of things, sneaky ships, all that, I don't really need it too much. I rely more on hull heals, if anything, and engineering officers. So, this is pretty much it, guys. As far as our lieutenant stuff, I don't use torpedoes. The only time I use torpedoes, or I should say equip torpedoes, is when they give set bonuses. I know that there are some great people out there making great torpedo builds. I am not one of those people. I tried. I could not get it to work. I will continue to try, but for right now, I'm kind of steering away from it. We do want all of our focus on energy weapons. Again, this skill set is mainly for escort builds, maybe a cruiser, stuff like that. Obviously not something that tanks or anything like that. You want to be laying down damage. Those of you that know who I am, obviously, you know what kind of ships I enjoy flying. That's what's going to work here. Our lieutenant commander over here, we want some plasma flow over here. We like going fast, so we have two of those. Going forward, the reason you don't want to max these out is the bonus you get on your third skill. It's not really worth it in most instances, in my opinion at least. Obviously, some things that you're really focused on, deserve it. Other things that are staples like targeting expertise, you definitely want all three, but for the most part, you don't really need all three in one. Obviously up here, we want as much of this as possible. Over here as well, we want as much of this as possible, but we'll go through it. So over in our science, we have control, expertise, big fan of control, and I did find both of these are really important for my builds. Again, I'm big on controls, placates, all that good stuff, so these definitely work. If you are working a drain build, this is kind of a no-brainer. You need this. There's no way around it. That expertise bonus is, you need it. Enough said. Our targeting expertise, again, all three of these, we definitely want these. I've seen, and I have done this before, I'll usually maybe slot one of these, but it's very rare. I find my targeting is pretty much on point. Our commander is over here, and again, a little bit of hull plating, that's nice to have, energized. Damage control is nice to have, and we're not too much worried with science. We want, to be honest, most of the science that we are spending here is only to get to our middle bonus, which I will go over after going down the skill tree. Weapon amplification, we love severity. We don't care about chance because we run Temple Surge. We create our own chance. We are in control of our destiny. So yeah, we want to maximize severity whenever possible, even if it's just a little bit more, that 14% more. We definitely want it. We definitely want it. Going down to our captain abilities, so Again, emphasis on tech and engineer. I fly the ship in auxiliary mode, which really helps out with a lot of things. The more auxiliary I have, the more I survive, the more I can put down some damage, stuff like that. Offensive subsystem tuning, it's very nice. A little bit of power to the weapons and engines. If I had extra to spend, it would definitely be on weapons, not engines. Most of the ships I fly are fast enough. I don't need more. I do this, and I want to stress this because this does not have to be there. I've recently gotten into science after years of playing, finally, getting into science. So EPG is obviously huge for science players. I definitely wanted to, maximize this as much as possible. But this one's very, very important no matter what build you're running, no matter if it's PvP, PvE, or you're just, floating around Earth space dock, it doesn't matter. You want long-range targeting sensors. Alright, you want to be able to see people at the maximum range you can. So all three of these, it's a necessity, and that's it. Over here on TAC, hull pen and shield pen. Honestly, I really want to give up one of these shield pen ones and go for a 3-piece on this. It's a little enticing, especially with the new phasers that just came out with some hull pen. I kind of enjoy it, but for now, this will work. Our Admiral skills down here, we want to boost all subsystem powers, so that's kind of a no-brainer. You definitely want all of your engineer, your science, and your tech readiness to be boosted, whether it be a 2-piece or just a 1. You at minimum want one of these. So over here, obviously another readiness, and over here, I'm a little indifferent about this. I mean, so you negate a critical hit, and it's every 20 seconds, which sounds nice, but when people are just like bombarding you with crits, it kind of like, 1 crit in 40, like, I don't know, that's my mindset at least. I might actually want to swap this out and go with a secondary on this over here. So, I don't use 2-made pets. I amplify pets through, starship traits and personal space traits, stuff like that, so I'm not too worried about that. And obviously our tactical readiness down here. So let's go up and actually look at some of the stuff we can click on. So every time you unlock skills, these little lightning bars right here, or bubbles, they will start flashing. Meaning you can select between one or the other. So we're just going to go down this step by step. Before I bore you guys to death, I want to start with this one. This is why we slotted all that science stuff. Super important. Beyond important. This is like critical for your space skills. Seriously. If you don't do anything else, just do this at least. We'll talk about it as we get to it. Alright, battery expertise. From my DOF video, from my build video, batteries are life. Love some batteries, so yeah, no brainer. I do use pets on some builds, but they're not essential to me, so I'd much rather have battery expertise. We got some hull capacity here. I used to do the subsystem repair, but being that I'm not really facing that problem anymore. I mean, I'm barely getting targeted as it is. I'd much rather just stick stuff in hull capacity. Finishing this out, we have engine subsystem power. Again, I don't really rely on shields. And if I had my choice, I mean, anything but shields, engines. Sure. This is kind of just your flavor, whatever you want to do. I do transwarp a whole lot, inviting players to fleet-owned maps, going into Karat, wanting to go back to space dock, stuff like that. So I want my transwarp to cool down as fast as possible. This is super, super important, especially if you're running intel builds. I'm not going to go into math as far as how to detect stealth builds and everything, it gets super, super complicated. I will let one of the Reddit guys straight up nerd out over all that and let you guys read up on that. But there are ways around Exodus, guys. You just have to know what's going on. And over here are perceptions. So if you're having problems seeing your typical PvP person in Arena or FunV, this is going to help immensely, especially when you're flying in auxiliary mode. You obviously are diverting all your power to auxiliary, so all those points add up into stealth detection. Auxiliary mode is also awesome if you run certain specializations like Intel. That was covered in another video. I won't go into that here, but you need to have this checked off if you want to see people. For attack, there is threat control and hanger weaponry. Again, I don't really use a lot of pets, but the threat control, I'm not really worried about either. In this instance, I took hanger weaponry. Again, we don't care about crit chance. Doesn't matter to us. We control our own destiny. So everything is focused on damage. And once again, crit damage. Crit severity is life. Yeah. So that's pretty much it, guys. This is not an end-all be-all. I still have a rough time taking down certain players. I mean, it's been a long time since I've actually lost a 1v1, whether it be ESD or FunV. So I'm hoping that this works for others. If you found this informative, helpful at all, please just give it a like, all that good stuff. Any questions, post up in the comments, PM me, whatever you guys want to do. Alright guys, until next time.